My name is Bradley Lawrence. I am one of the curators at the Phoenix Zoo.
Hello, I'm John Rossi. I'm a touring drummer with a passion for animal conservation. When I'm on the road, I spend as much time as possible visiting zoos, aquariums, and conservation organizations. Now, I want to share those places with you. I'll be talking to keepers, vets, conservationists, anyone who can help me in my mission of connecting my people to animals through their people. Join me on my Rossifari. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the Rossifari podcast. Now, if you know me, you know that one of my favorite things in the entire world is when I get to do episodes of the podcast with my friends. And whether they are friends because they've been on the podcast before, or I've met them in the zoological world and then finally gotten them on the podcast, or simply because I've had them become friends in my real life. Whenever I get somebody like that on the podcast, two things are guaranteed to happen. It's going to be really fun and interesting, and it's absolutely going to derail. And I am super proud of the fact that both of those things happen very quickly in this episode. So Bradley Lawrence is one of the curators at the Phoenix Zoo. And it's our first time having the Phoenix Zoo on, and I'm very excited about that. But Bradley is someone I've known for a while because he is married to Natali Berry, one of the people that you have heard on this podcast multiple times. And Nat and I are really good friends. And because of that, when I have hung out in Phoenix and spent time with her, I've gotten to know Bradley really well. He's come out to multiple shows that I've done, and we've hung out, and he's just a really cool dude. And you're going to hear that throughout this episode. But I will say, while I've wanted to have him on for quite a while, I knew it would be a tough ask because Bradley doesn't talk much, and this is an audio podcast. So we got him talking, and part of the way that we did that was that it wasn't just me, but I sat there with Natali. I think in the interview I call her my co-host, but that is giving credit where credit is not due. Natali was more just there to cheer on Bradley and make sure that he remembered to say words and stuff like that. But of course, because it's Natali, there were interjections and there are really funny moments, and the three of us just had a really awesome time. This interview happened at the end of my last trip out to Phoenix. And when I say at the end, I mean within 5 minutes of wrapping up this interview, I was in my car and headed to the airport and just making my flight. So we were all exhausted. It was late at night. Bradley and Natali had me for dinner first and stuff. It was an incredible, lovely evening. I'm so grateful to them for having me there, and I'm excited to share this with y'all. So there's a lot of really interesting stuff in here about horses and herps and inverts and all kinds of stuff. And we derail at least a few times. I think y'all are really going to enjoy this one. So before we get to it, really quick, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of these Tuesday interview episodes or Friday Zoo News episodes. Make sure you're following along on the socials at Rossifari, on TikTok at Rossifari Pod. And hey, if you like me enough, you can support the pod for as little as $3 a month by going to patreon.com/Rossifari. So with all of that said, it's time to get to it. So here is my interview with Bradley Lawrence from the Phoenix Zoo featuring Natali Berry.
I've been there for 4 years now. Yeah. I am primarily a reptile guy, but my current role, we have two curators at the zoo, and we split up the duties. So currently I am curator of ectotherms, birds, equine farm, and ambassador program.
Nice. Very cool. And today with us, we have a co-host. Go ahead and introduce yourself, co-hosty.
Hi, I am Natali Berry. I was previously on here when I worked at Sea Life, However, now I work at Odyssey Aquarium. I am the cold water senior there and also Bradley's wife.
Yay! Give me your mic for a second.
No.
Yeah, it's mine.
It's mine. It's mine.
We don't have the same last name.
No, we don't.
Why don't you have the same last name?
Because feminism.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, I just really like my last name. It's really cute.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It is. No, it's solid.
I'm trying to get him to take my last name.
It's too much alliteration.
No, that's the point.
Bradley Berry would be so... I kind of like this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Everyone's
Maybe
for
hyphenate it.
A what?
Bradley Berry Lards.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
It's
We'll,
fine.
we'll work on that.
We're going to workshop it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got time. You know, only the rest of your lives.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
or until you screw up somehow, Nat. So, I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. Wouldn't be me.
All right. So, this derailed so much faster than I thought it would. Like, don't get me wrong.
I'm like, how long did it take for you to insult me?
I thought it would derail. I just didn't think it would derail 2 minutes and 14 seconds in.
Okay.
At least 30 seconds of which was us playing with microphones. But yeah, so let's talk about, before we get into your roles at Phoenix, because it sounds like there's a lot of different stuff there. And I'm especially curious about the equine side of it, because you're a herp guy and horses are as far from, herps as you can get. But so what was your career like? What was, growing up, did you know you'd want to do something like this? All that jazz.
My parents said that I learned like scientific names of dinosaurs were like my first words. I remember my bedroom was all dinosaurs with the names on them and everything. And my dad was a teacher early on. He brought me my first snake. It was a rough green snake back in Illinois. And we kept it for a few days until obviously I wasn't capable at 8 years old or whatever of taking care of it. So we let it go. But I was hooked on reptiles from that point. I didn't really see that as a career option. And I got my first pet snake in high school, though. This was still before I saw this as a career option. I got a ball python when I graduated high school. I'm not going to say what year that was. People can figure it out if they want to figure it out. However, that snake is still here in the household, and next to me, it's the next oldest living thing in this house.
Yeah, she's in charge when Bradley's gone.
Yeah. That makes
the
sense.
ball python, yeah.
She is older than Natali. I went to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. It's a really good zoology school. It's one of the best zoology schools in the country, and it's the only university that is in a national forest.
Oh, nice.
So that was always nice. But I definitely got back into herps at that point. I had herpetology. Of course, that was only taught in the fall, which was the best time to do the herping there in Southern Illinois. So I just couldn't wait for that class to be taught. But that was cool. Then I started wondering what I was going to do for a career. I don't know how much of this I need to get into, especially if my parents are listening to this. But, they're well aware of the timeline, though. But anyway, at one point, I didn't know what I was doing in college, and I was doing terrible. My grades were tanking, and I had two buddies that lived in Las Vegas that I grew up with, and they're like, "Hey, come out here." And so I went out to Las Vegas, and I lived in Vegas for 5 months, and I did almost nothing, and it was terrible. And I quickly realized I do not want to work at UPS at the graveyard shift, and I'm going back to school. So that's what I did. But when I got back, I got back into the zoology thing really heavy, and I wanted to do herps. And, I grew up close to the St. Louis Zoo. That was my hometown zoo. And I started calling there, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to be an intern. And Jeff Etling, the curator for herps at the time, he was like, we don't have an intern program. And he pretty much just hung up. And I called a lot. This was before emails, and there may have been emails. I don't know. This was a long time ago.
Yeah,
So you had
we get it.
you had
I
to use
had to use
the
a
scrolly
phone.
dially
The dial
phone. Yes,
It
where it's like,
probably wasn't a rotary phone, but it was a phone.
I didn't even know the word rotary phone. That's amazing.
But eventually he broke down. He's like, fine, come be an intern. So I was the St. Louis Zoo's first herp intern.
That's awesome. And that's a heck of a herp house.
Yes.
Yeah.
The history there is fabulous. So I did that and it was awesome. And that's when I realized, like, okay, I didn't know about this zoo thing, but I liked the diversity of animals I got to work with there, the exotic stuff. It really turned the light bulb on for me because I thought I would probably end up like, I don't want to say end up because I like conservation officers, conservation biology, DNR, U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Those were all options that I thought of, and I'm sure I would have enjoyed all those too. But I really liked the zoo thing, just getting to work with so many different animals. So I did my internship there, and then I just kind of kept hanging around there, and they didn't make me leave. So they're like, I was like free help that just kept showing up on the weekends, and eventually I applied for a job there, and it was given to somebody that was already part-time there. But Jeff, the curator, was like, hey, there's a job open at Central Florida Zoo. It's AZA, and Fred Antonio, the curator, is an incredible reptile guy. It's a good collection. You should think about it. So I applied there, and with Jeff's letter of recommendation, I got the job there. That was my first job.
Nice.
I was so excited because Fred called me. He's to tell me I got the job, and he was like, "Are you sure you want to move to Florida for $7 an hour?" I was like, absolutely, can't stop me. So that was my first day job.
That's really cool. That's awesome. And so I know that you were there, and then I know that you've got some time down in Dallas as well, and all of that led you to getting to Phoenix, right?
Yes. Yeah, there was a long road to get to Phoenix. I really thought I would just be in Dallas forever because I was pretty happy there. The collection was fabulous. But of the 4 AZA institutions I've worked for, and I'm not just promoting
You're paying him to say this.
tooting the Phoenix Zoo horn, but Phoenix Zoo has been fabulous. It's the best institution I've worked for.
That's awesome.
Point. They really care about all their employees, and yeah, it's been great. And
Really cool.
Other than extreme heat in the summer, Arizona is fabulous.
I love it out here. You guys know I've come out frequently, and I genuinely think that if Miles didn't exist, I would strongly consider seeing if we could move out here. It would be hard to live here with him in Pennsylvania. But outside of that, I love Phoenix, and I'm not even a heat guy. I like cold,
right. But
I'm in Buffalo right now, and it's chilly there. But I always love it out here. Yeah, it's a very cool place.
And it's 2 hours in any direction, and you're in completely different habitat too. Mm-hmm. So it's not all Sonoran Desert. It's like a lot of times in the summer, like if we need a 20-degree temperature drop, we drive an hour and a half north and hang out for a day or two, and it's pleasant.
Nice. And it really is true what they say, as dumb as the saying is, it really is the humidity, because out here there isn't that. And my first day out here this week when I was doing stuff at Wildlife World, it was 103. And 103 on the East Coast, I am a puddle. I'm a disaster. Yeah. I loved it. I was very comfortable. I worked the entire day outside. Gotta have that sunscreen. But outside of that, I was shocked at how comfortable I was, because I'm not a heat guy, and I was totally fine.
It's a dry heat.
Yes, it is. When I talk to my parents, that's weather is something we always talk about. What's the weather doing out there? But my dad finds it really humorous, more than the temperature. We know it gets 115, 120, but the humidity. I'm like, the humidity is 5 today. How is that even possible? 5.
So, you've been at Phoenix for, I think you said 4 years, right?
4 years.
Okay, cool. And Did you come here in your current role, or did you start somewhere else and then grow into it?
I came out here as the collection manager for ectotherms.
Okay.
Yes, which was roughly what I was doing at Dallas. It was the same. It was the same job. My boss wanted me to come out here, and we didn't know that I had a good house in Dallas. The payment was fabulous. The collection was good, but things had changed, and they were going a different direction. And but Natalie and I had just really not been together that long. So when Drew was like, "Hey, you should think about coming out to Phoenix," I mean, I definitely was thinking about it because it was a great job opportunity. But I was like, I don't know if I'm willing to sell the house, and I just, is Natalie gonna want to go out there? But she really encouraged me to do it, and it's been a great move. So
I think I'm the only one who thought it was a good idea. I was like, no, we're going.
I think Drew thought it was a good idea.
Okay, me and Drew. we thought it was a good idea.
It was either that or I was going to open that donut truck. I was going to buy a donut truck and sell mini donuts.
No, this was his contingency plan.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, it was a dream.
I was still going to do
for a little
reptile
bit.
stuff at home, but mini donuts was going to be the thing.
COVID affected us all in different ways.
COVID was...
That's fair. I launched Rossifari, so I think I was going in a slightly better direction than mini donuts. Although I will say, mini donuts slap. And you provided dinner tonight and it was fantastic. But if there were mini donuts, it would have been fantasticer. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The baklava was good, but
I didn't make those, but they were okay.
But okay, cool. So you came in as the collection manager of ectotherms, and then magically became the curator of horses too.
Right. Yeah. So, I've never had great aspirations. I want to be a curator. I really just want to make a living and work with reptiles. That was my,
Sure.
I was happy doing that. But being a curator is cool, of course. And obviously raises are nice too. But I was very happy as a collection manager, but things changed unexpectedly and faster than I thought. My boss got a promotion to a position that had been eliminated during COVID, and they brought back, and he's fabulous at that job. So all of a sudden, here's the curator job. And honestly, I don't know the history as much as I probably should, but like a lot of institutions that used to have a curator for each department, Phoenix at some point, and it may have been around COVID, it may have been before that, but they went with just 2 curators. So we just split the collections just split. My boss moved up and there was an opportunity, and I decided that this was my chance to be a herb curator, but it also, am I willing to do horses and birds and ambassador animals? It's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a lot that I've been around animals. I've been working AZA for 20 something years. So I've been around a lot of animals over the years. So my zoology knowledge is pretty good. But I did know, and one of the main reasons that I decided this would work is the other managers there are fabulous. So, if you have a team of incredible people, it makes it really easy to do your job. So, and then since then, I've learned a lot of stuff, a lot of bird knowledge. I've definitely learned so much about horses because I knew zero about horses. So, other than falling off Tubby the pony at my uncle's house when I was 6 years old or whatever, and my grandma was never going to let me go out to his house again.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Every time I went to the farm, I got hurt. So.
Tubby the pony?
Tubby the pony,
Okay.
which is now the episode title, probably.
I actually didn't tell Drew that I always got hurt at the farm. He might have been.
I don't think you would have gotten the job if you told him, if you disclosed that information.
I haven't been hurt at the farm yet.
That's good.
That is good, yes. So I think for people listening, the big question, other than why the heck are the 3 of these guys just laughing at each other the whole time, is horses at a zoo? Like, sure, some places have Przewalski's horses and stuff, but that's not really what we're talking about here, right? So can you talk about this program?
Yeah. So I didn't realize how rare it was until I got here, but we have, our equine department is actually equine and farm. Farm animals are in our children's trail area, and it's, petting goats and there's cows and chickens and all the fun farm stuff. But then our equine department is actually separate from that. We have a really awesome stable and arena, and we teach horse hands classes. And I think we're the only AZA zoo that actually does this, which is pretty cool. We have 21 horses, I think, right now. And when we get horses, we look for specific traits in those horses that are, they're easy animals to work with. They work with kids well. Our horse manager is fabulous at finding animals for us. But we definitely have a full barn right now, 21 horses. And so we teach horse hands classes from ages 3 and up. We have different levels. It starts off with, horse grooming and stall work and stuff like that. And it moves up to, putting the tack on the horses, saddling them, and riding. And then we even have advanced rider courses as well. And I'm pretty sure we're the only zoo, that does that. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've definitely never heard of anywhere else that does that. When you first said horse hands, I assumed you meant hooves, but now I see what you mean.
Right?
It's like you're using the wrong words.
The word you're looking for is hoof.
But that's fascinating. And is that a popular program? And is that are horses a big thing out here just in general?
It's extremely popular. And yes, being in a Western state, there are a lot of horse folks out here.
Those are called centaurs.
Horse folks. I like that. And I think this is true across the country with people that grow up with, 4-H and, ag programs early in life. It really, presents a good lesson to kids about responsibility. And all the people that go through this program are fabulous. And many of them have gone through for years, and we've actually ended up hiring them. And so many people just credit this program as being such a big impact on their lives. And it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And it has nothing to do with the zoo in the standard sense of the word, other than that
Right.
It's obviously part of the zoo.
Right.
But if you are a just random zoo guest, is there any kind of horse encounter, or you can go on a horse?
Yeah. So when you're walking along our Outer Tropics Trail, there's a sign for the Equine Center, and we do have a couple of small sections of bleachers, and it's right next to our arena. So if there's classes going on, or if there's not classes, sometimes there's just a few horses turned out just to give them some space to run around with each other and interact.
Yeah.
So guests can sit there and watch that, but also they can go down. The path goes down to our Equine Center, and we have six or 8 horses on the front side that people can pet. They can scratch them if they want to. The horses we put on the front side for guests are pretty easygoing horses. They're not gonna bite somebody or kick somebody in the head. None of our horses kick people in the head.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good recovery.
But we do put our more gentle animals up front, so people spend a lot of time there. Yeah, people come back, especially the members. It's got all the horse stalls have the horse's name in front of them, so people really get to know the horses. It's nice.
That's really cool.
I have some favorites, and I've learned. I've been on horses a few times in my life, but not till I got here did I actually start to learn how to ride. So it's been fun.
So tell me about your favorites.
Captain is my favorite. Everybody will know this. Captain is our thoroughbred. We've only had him for about a year, but he's fabulous. He's like if I go in there and clean stalls, he's just like right behind me, just wanting to know what I'm doing. Like he likes being in close proximity to people. I can't picture him as a racehorse.
Yeah, he used to be a racehorse.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he's apparently lightning fast, and he's quite the specimen. But he's the sweetest horse. He's
the
definitely my
most
favorite.
muscular horse I've ever seen. Like he took me to go meet him because like Captain's like your best friend now, and you're like, you have to go meet Captain. And I was like, that horse like benches like 400 pounds, like so muscular, so buff.
Yeah, I go see Captain several times a week for sure. And I love the other horses too, but Captain's cool.
And I didn't even realize that horses could get so attached to people until he started working with them, and he like has all these stories about these personal experiences with these horses, and I'm like, I had no idea.
That's because you mostly work with inverts.
Oh, yeah. Only some of those get personal.
Yeah. When your animals get attached to you, it's because they're octopus suckers. So, yeah.
There's a difference there, for sure.
No, that's very cool. Yeah, I haven't really done much with or talked about even horses because, occasionally, like you said, there's like one at the farm, the petting horse or whatever. But this is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And they're scary. I mean, they're 1,000 pounds, and they're big animals. And sometimes I'm still very, intimidated by them. And people are like, "Don't you work with venomous snakes?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I can put a venomous snake. I can handle a venomous snake and deal with it if it gets out of control." But large mammals are definitely not my wheelhouse. So
that's fair. And also for those of you listening who don't know Bradley, I mean, we are talking about a pretty ripped dude with tats all over and a like 8-inch long beard hanging down, like bald head. Like this is not the person who you would think would be like, yeah, sometimes I get a little intimidated by horses, but that's cool because that shows like, you're not some 90-pound wimp who's like, horses and turtles are scary.
Turtles?
That's really cool. You know how I know that you like horses and that you like this part of your job?
How's that?
Well, we're 20-some minutes into an interview, and you haven't completely dialed and just started talking about herps yet. And anyone who knows you knows herps are kind of your thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. But I am going to open the floodgates now. I'm going to let you just kind of tell us about your herps and what y'all have and how it works there and just all the things.
So, for every herp person, Arizona is like that's the place everybody wants to be. The Arizona herps are fabulous. I mean, there's a lot of places around the country for specific really cool things too, but most herpers agree that Arizona is fabulous for reptiles. So when I started at Central Florida Zoo, the first TAG meeting, the Taxon Advisory Group meeting I went to, was at Tucson. So that was really, other than being in Arizona when I was little, and we didn't do any herping, I'm sure. I don't recall any herping, other than I had a cousin that had a desert tortoise. But
oh, nice.
So we saw that early on. Anyway, once I came to Tucson for the TAG conference, I was hooked on Arizona for sure. And then I realized like most of Southeast Arizona is retired herpers. So it's a very interesting place. So it's always something that's been like kind of a wish list, kind of, yes, maybe someday I'll work in Arizona. And it used to be the Sonoran Desert Museum, which is an awesome place.
Yeah.
That's where our meeting was. So we all knew of the Sonoran Desert Museum, and even Reed Park down in Tucson as well. Oddly enough, Phoenix was never on anybody's herp radar for years and years. And I never understood that. I'm like, it's a big city. Like, why is Phoenix not have a great herp department? And it just wasn't the focus of the institution. They had native stuff, and I don't really know much about the history before Drew got here, but Drew Foster came from several places, but ultimately from the Bronx. He's an awesome herp guy, but he came here, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago, and really started changing things and started putting Phoenix on the herp map. And I think we're pretty good at this point. It's definitely heavy Sonoran Desert natives, which I love. And because we're not just a native Arizona zoo, we do have many exotics. We do have exotic herps too, and we try and expand those when we can. But with the climate, it's challenging to do a bunch of different exotic things. So we're definitely mostly a Sonoran Desert collection, at least arid, warm temperature stuff. But it's awesome. I think it's really headed the right direction. And it's definitely on people's radar at this point. So
That's really cool.
I don't remember did I answer?
Yeah. He just asked me about the
legible?
herps.
Yeah.
I had never heard you talk this much. It's crazy.
Wait, why did you tell me to interview him if he doesn't talk, you weirdo?
You were the one that was begging me for an interview.
It's because
I
Bradley's
assume that's
awesome.
why you were here, is because you guys both decided that if I'm not here, then he's not going to say anything. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
We're both here because I live here. He came to interview you.
I just came for the Greek food, honestly.
Yeah, right.
That and to meet a couple of kitties.
Kitties.
So
You should talk about Ranger, the rattlesnake.
All right.
You don't.
Yeah.
Is it okay to talk about gay snakes?
Oh, please. Yeah. Let's
Okay. So
oh
talk
my
about
gosh,
how he's gay too.
Well,
I'm leaving all of this in, by the way.
it's actually we have no way of verifying that.
He's unofficially gay.
When you have an exhibit of 7 male snakes, things happen. It's when it's spring and it's his behavior.
Okay, but seriously,
Who's over there?
talk about like the World Series and the.
Yeah, so
It was cool. It was actually cool.
was it? I'm more of a hockey fan than a baseball fan, but when the Diamondbacks were playing the Texas Rangers in the World Series, we had a bet going with as zoos do with Super Bowls and World Series, with the Fort Worth Zoo, and whoever lost was going to have an animal named by the other zoo. So unfortunately, Arizona did lose, and
Unfortunately for who?
oh yeah, we're from Texas.
I'm like, the Rangers won.
We live here.
Oh my God. That was amazing.
Unfortunately for the
Diamondbacks fans.
The local Sonora natives.
Right.
Yeah.
They lost. So we had a Western Diamondback that we decided was going to be named Ranger.
Well, the Fort Worth Zoo.
The Fort Worth Zoo
decided it was
that
going to be named Ranger.
So we had this graphic made up. It was a really cool graphic. It talked about the whole thing. There's a little QR code. People could, and Ranger's been really popular. Everybody knows. It's cool to have a rattlesnake when people know its name, because everybody knows the primates' names and the big hoofstock names, the elephants, the rhinos, but most people don't know. Well, and most reptile people don't name things anyway. But it's nice that everybody coming to the zoo, like, oh, let's see Ranger. So we have a Western Diamondback named Ranger.
Well, it was cool. So, I'm from Texas, so all my friends at home were celebrating that win, and it was really good marketing because they would text me, a picture of that snake named Ranger, or like from an article, and they'd be like, "Is this real? Did this actually happen?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it did." So it just shows like how good marketing that was. That like my friends in Texas were asking me
Yeah, that's
if that
really
actually
cool.
happened.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm a giant rattlesnake advocate. I have been that's one of the things that I've wanted from my career, is to speak out for rattlesnakes, especially against the roundups and all that. Probably don't have time to get into the roundups, but
I've talked about them on Z News before. A lot of my listeners
Yeah.
will know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's not ideal,
no, it's
to
terrible.
put it mildly. Yeah.
But we take Ranger to Diamondbacks games once a month. They have a STEM learning initiative there, and they invite us out. We go out once a month. So I take Ranger and usually 3 or 4 other rattlesnakes and talk to folks about rattlesnakes. So he gets to go to a lot of baseball games. It's fun.
That's really cool. I'm curious. So I know that, like, in general, rattlesnakes have a pretty bad rep, and it's a very unearned one. But being out here in like an area that's very herp centric, there are a lot of herpers out here, and also where like they are a native species. Do you still find that there's a lot of hatred towards them? Do you still have to do a lot of educating? And are people maybe more open to it or less open to it? Or what are your thoughts?
It's better here than Texas, for sure. Texas and Oklahoma are very tough on rattlesnakes. It's almost impossible to change people's minds if they've been raised that way to fear rattlesnakes and hate rattlesnakes. I don't see it that much. It does happen here in Arizona, but it's definitely better here. I feel like a lot of people are wildlife oriented that live here, and they kind of accept everything that is in the Sonoran Desert and accept its place. But still, yeah, we make the biggest effort we can to let people know why they're here and what purpose they serve. Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm curious about like you said, you handle venomous snakes all the time, and whether it's for you yourself or especially as a curator in a leadership role for your team, and maybe when you're bringing in newer keepers or younger people who didn't have to use rotary phones to keep first, what do you do to keep them safe? And how does that, what does that training look like? You guys have anti-venoms on hand? Like, tell me all of the stuff that makes it work.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's been one of my favorite parts about working in zoos the whole time I've been a zookeeper. From St. Louis and Central Florida, I started off, they were both pretty heavy with exotic venomous stuff. So I was really interested in that early on. And then my years at Dallas, we developed, at one point, it was the most venomous collection in the country for 5 or 6 years running. I mean, it was always the top 1 or 2, but we had a lot of really scary stuff there. Scary and exciting stuff. But training people to work with them has definitely been one of my favorite things in my career. And we do the same thing here. And I still participate. We have our collection manager, Damien, is awesome. But we have a really rigid protocol for starting people out. And we work people to their comfort level. And, I have a really good safety record, I think. So I guess it's working out. One thing we've always had the native rattlesnake collection, but we have limited exotic space, like I've mentioned before, but we have added more elapids, more cobras since I've started. Cobras are my thing. So
nice.
We don't have much space for them, but we have added some species. And then it's a different level of training. And we start people off with smaller rattlesnakes. And as they get more comfortable and learn the techniques, then we move them up to different species that are typically more difficult to handle. And then ultimately up to the elapids, which are kind of another category. A lot of times their size and their speed, they just don't move like rattlesnakes do. They move around a lot. So it's definitely more of a challenge, but we have a great staff and they've all done really well.
Cool. So yeah, I think it's really, it's fascinating that you're so drawn to not only species that would not be considered charismatic by most common standards. I'm sure that you would argue that they are incredibly charismatic, yeah. But also, venomous, dangerous. What do you think it is that attracts you to such dangerous animals and women?
What? Wait. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, I don't know if those are correlated or not. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I've always liked herps, but it's not like I was like, I only want to work with venomous animals. And I don't want to take away from the other fabulous reptiles that we work with, too. I definitely have a lot of favorites. Horn lizards and croc monitors are both tattooed on my arms, so they are not venomous and definitely hold as much space in my heart as the venomous stuff does, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as charismatic too, though, like king cobras, that's the top of the chart for me. Yeah. I don't like to throw the word intelligence around with a lot of reptiles, but king cobras are definitely a step above everything else. There's definitely something going on there.
Yeah.
You were just telling me how smart the crocs are.
Crocs are smart too.
Those are reptiles,
Yeah, they are. Right?
We drop the spine in an animal and you go from an expert to clueless.
Honestly, I was completely in snake mode and not even thinking about crocodilians, which I also love.
There's more reptiles other than snakes.
I know.
It's true, including my favorite, turtles.
Turtle.
People all have been telling me that for years. There's more reptiles than just snakes.
So, yeah, I think that's cool, though, that it's not like just the venomous stuff. You know, I think that makes sense. But it is cool that you feel such a strong drive to do that. And I think, you know, it is so important because venom is such a scary thing to a lot of people. And so educating the public on the importance of those animals is really cool. That's why I always love to tell them about the venomous turtles that I like.
That's what I always said. If there were venomous turtles, we would have way more turtles. And, you know, that's one thing that I really like about Phoenix. We've started, for at least maybe 2 years, it's going on the second year. We do a venomous presentation on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So our ectotherm staff bring out some native Arizona rattlesnakes and usually Gila monster, and we talk to guests about it in our amphitheater, and it's really well received. We catch a lot of people doing that. It's been a good program.
Nice. That's very cool. Now, you guys go herping outside of the zoo world, too, like in this area, right? And so I haven't really done much, if anything, about herping on the pod. So I'm kind of curious, like, can you give just an overview of what that term means? I feel like a lot of people use it, but maybe a lot of people don't know what it is, and also, like, what you get from it.
Right. For me, it's almost synonymous with hiking. Like,
Yeah.
we love to hike, but I'm always looking for reptiles. So, like, always looking for reptiles. Even if it's part of the time of the year when we shouldn't see anything, I'm still looking for reptiles. So hiking and herping for me is really the same. It's just, if it's the time of year when there's not reptiles out, then it's just hiking. Other than that, it's herping.
I don't know. I almost feel like when we're not looking for stuff, we find the most stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's true. Yeah.
And yeah, like if we're not having we're just going to go on a hike. We don't really have our eye out for anything. He'll be a couple paces ahead of me and he'll be like, hey, there's a rattlesnake right there, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really fun. Or we went to the White Tanks, which is over in West Valley.
West Valley, yeah.
Yeah, just like a mountain range over there. And I was just moseying around, flipping rocks, and I flipped a rock over and there was a baby horn lizard. And I was like, horn lizard! They came like running over.
That was awesome.
Thanks. That was my best find.
That's
honestly.
really cool.
I would argue that was your best find. It was a good one.
What was my best?
When you found the green rat snakes in Box Canyon.
I did find a green rock.
That was your most snakes we saw that day.
Wait, what's that? Sorry, cut that.
Never.
Cut it.
I cut nothing for you.
Cut it. Green rat snake.
Green rat snake.
I did find a green rat snake in Box Canyon.
Mm-hmm. You did.
That's amazing. That's really cool. I love that your primary animals that you work with are also all around you, and that when you're not at the zoo, you're like, hey, let's go out and look at slightly different ones that all look exactly the same. It's
Well,
very cool.
they find a lot on zoo grounds. Can you talk about that research project?
Yeah, and we did something similar at Dallas where we had Texas rat snakes on property. It was the predominant snake species, and we had a years-long study of market recapture study with them. So when I came here, we obviously have more snakes here than we did in Dallas. So California king snakes, Sonoran gopher snakes, and coach whips, when we find them on property, we grab them, give them a microchip, take the GPS data, weigh them, measure them, take the weather data, and then release them pretty close to where we got them. And so we just kind of, especially for some of the staff that haven't had the experience with data, like field work and data collection, it's pretty fun. I think so. They may not think it's fun. They may think it's a drag. Like, not only do I have to clean these enclosures today, but now I have to go do this too. No, I don't think they think that. But it's a project that this will be the third year we're doing it. So we see a lot of snakes on grounds, and it's something fun to do.
Nice. Yeah. How many times do people come up to you and be like, "Oh, one of your snakes escaped"?
Oh yeah, every time. Yeah. And then once you tell them, like, no, these are just everywhere out here, then they're like, really? Like, well, let me tell you about Arizona.
So since you're in herp world, do you deal with inverts as well at all? Any
Yeah, we do the
tarantulas
invert.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I figured. Cool. So what kind of stuff do you take care of in that world?
So we have, once again, Arizona is like the mecca for inverts as well. The invertebrate tag is held here in Tucson every year. They don't even move that tag around. It's in Tucson.
Wow.
It's in Tucson. That's where you go for it. But there's a lot of awesome stuff here. Sunburst diving beetles. We have like 40 species of scorpions here in Arizona, which is, I thought we had like 3 when I moved here, but it's like 40. Tarantulas, centipedes. Like, there's a lot of really awesome stuff. We exhibit quite a few things at the zoo. Yeah.
Very cool.
When we go out looking for inverts, I call it inverting.
Inverting.
And nobody thinks that's funny.
I think it's funny.
You have never laughed at that joke.
I always laugh at that. We're going
He always laughs at you. I mean, that joke.
She's laughing with me.
No, that's really cool. I love that. I recently held a millipede for the first time.
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
was really cool. Yeah.
Thousands of little legs.
Yeah, they're so not what I expected. I expected them to be squishier, and not that I was squishing, but like the centipedes that I have held and seen and stuff are very soft and like the feet are like little hairs almost. Yeah. Not this, they dig into just a little bit. It didn't hurt or anything, but it's like they, I don't know. It was much just one of those animals that I didn't know what to expect. And as I was holding it, I was like, nope, would not have guessed this. It's very cool.
Yep. Centipedes are cool. I do not actually like holding centipedes though.
Interesting.
They're kind of creepy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I would be scared. I would be terrified to hold a centipede.
Interesting. The one that still gets me a little bit is certain scorpions. I'm good with some standard variety ones, and I've held 1 or 2 with gloves and whatever. But especially those, what are they, the whiptail or whatever? I see them and I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, eek.
Is that the Harry Potter one?
the look. Oh, the look that you just got, Nat. That was the look.
Wait, the what?
The vinegar run?
I thought it was a whiptail.
No, it's the other one. I know my mind went blank.
Oh
there are over 40 species of them out here. Cut them some slack.
Yeah, no, yes. You're right. But now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the one that doesn't have a tail.
The tailless.
That is one of the common names. I can't believe I can't remember this right now.
You're going to remember it in 30 minutes.
What a fraud.
Yeah, you're such a poser.
Getting fired from this interview.
I mean, I love scorpions too. I am a Scorpio. Yeah.
Sorry. John hates astrology.
Yeah, we don't have to go down astrology though.
Wait, are you an astrology person?
Everything I know of astrology is from Natali.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
It's because
I know you are.
I gave him a chance because he was a Scorpio, and he said, "I love astrology."
Smart man.
I did realize growing up, it's pretty cool that my sign is a scorpion.
Yeah.
Of all the scorpions in the United States, the only one that's medically significant to humans lives here in the Sonoran Desert. That's the Arizona bark scorpion, which can be a big problem especially for younger folks, and then also older folks. It's a pretty serious sting. It's a tiny little scorpion, but it's really crazy. Like, I never really worried about. It's not something I thought I had to deal with as a zoo manager. But like when I got here, it was like one of the first weeks we were here. We had a graze monitor that we came in one morning, and it was just foaming at the mouth and paralyzed. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, I'd never seen anything like this before. And we're up at the vet hospital, and they're like, well, it could be a scorpion. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And they did an endoscopy and found a bark scorpion in its stomach. It had tried to eat a scorpion and got stung in the mouth. And it was paralyzed from the neck down. And it hits monitors really hard. We've had a few of them since I've been here. And it's a week or two of almost complete paralysis, and then some physical therapy. And it just takes a long time for the reptiles to metabolize that venom out. And it's pretty significant. So because of that, we do scorpion roundups, scorpion hunts once a month in the summer at the zoo. We give people 2 hours overtime. We go out from 8 at night to 10 once a month, and everybody goes out with their blacklight and their forceps and a bucket, and we'll get between 400 and 800 scorpions in a night at the zoo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot. And we do that to just keep the numbers down, so there's less potential for interaction with the zoo animals. Yeah.
Wow, that's so many.
It's crazy. It's kind of fun too, though, because then we put them at the end of the night. We all dump ours all in one big 5-gallon bucket, and then everybody makes a guess of how many are in there, and then I bring them home and I freeze them. And over my weekend, I have a beer and count all of them individually, and then whoever gets the closest without going over like Price is Right gets a non-monetary prize.
Nice.
Of his choosing.
Of my choosing.
Very cool. So you use black lights? Are they
so they
glowy?
They do fluoresce under black lights.
Okay.
So it's super easy. You take a light out and they shine up just like little Christmas trees, and just grab them and throw them in the bucket.
I didn't know that scorpions did that. That's really cool.
All of my friends that I've met who have grown up here, they said that they have childhood memories of their parents like going through their whole house with black lights just to like clear it of scorpions, make sure there's no scorpions anywhere.
So I looked through the backyard and the garage here, and I haven't seen one yet.
He wouldn't tell me if he did.
I wouldn't tell you.
Because I would scream.
That's fair.
I wouldn't sleep here.
That was when I first started doing things at Wildlife World. Like my first day, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna like pull this thing out," and I was standing right next to it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show that I'm a big, strong helper." And I was like, "Cool, I got it." And I started reaching, and she's like, "Stop. There could be scorpions." And I shot back like a cannonball. I forgot they even exist in this part of the country.
Yeah.
And I was just like, zing, no need to be a hero. All right. How many, can we get like 20 people to help? Are we all going to stomp while we do this? What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're like, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. I went from real helpful to real calm, real. Nope, we're good. I need these hands. Is there anything else that you would like to share before we get to our last 2 questions? Or more importantly, is there anything that you think he should share?
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about it. You've been talking so much. I'm so proud of you.
I'm tired.
What?
I am exhausting, to be fair.
No.
Cool. Then is there a conservation organization you'd like to give a shout out to?
One of our go-tos is the TSA, the Turtle Survival Alliance.
Love TSA.
Yep. They do a lot of great stuff, and they also drink a lot of beer, so that's a good one.
They do. Their official motto is drink beer, save turtles.
Drink beer, save turtles.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. And then it is time.
It's time now, don't you know? We've come to the end of the show. But there's one tale left to go. You're gonna laugh and say, oh no. It's time for the Rossifari poop story.
I have a good, I don't know if it's a good one. I have one that came to mind. And it was my first time my parents had came to visit me from Illinois to Florida. My first time as a zookeeper, my parents came to visit me at a zoo. And crocodile monitors are maybe my favorite lizard. Definitely top 2. So we had a really great assortment of croc monitors at Central Florida Zoo. So I took him in the back to show him my favorite one, whose name was Norman. He was named after Norman Bates. He was just a little unstable, but he was awesome. But he was up on the mesh, like of the outdoor run of the enclosure. This was off exhibit, but I was so excited. I took my parents out there and walked them down this little narrow hallway, and I was talking about Norman and how much I love Norman. And like, as soon as I said how much I loved him, like, he completely unloaded everything in his bowels all down the front of me. I didn't have a beard at the time, but if it would have been in my beard for sure.
Yeah.
But it pretty much covered me from my head to my waist. And they're like, oh, I can see why you love this animal so much.
That's awesome. I also can't picture you without a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably had one. It was probably really short.
That's fair.
I did
Or
the
like
whole,
a goatee or
I did the whole
something.
90s goatee thing.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Sure.
Appreciate
I
it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope everyone else found something interesting to listen to.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that was fun. I loved editing that. It felt like I was right back in the room with my friends, and it was so nice. And also the amount of stuff I had to cut for as much as I left in. Holy cow, y'all, we got goofy. But I will actually have an outtake after the credits from this one, which I don't usually do for the non-Zoo News episodes, but I think y'all will get a kick out of it. Yeah, I'm so grateful to Bradley for being on and to Natali for sharing her husband with me. And I'm so lucky for the relationships that I've gotten to build in this industry. And it has been just so good. I'm happy. What can I say? And that is, that's kind of the goal, right? So before I get going, I do want to remind you all to come back here on Friday for Zoo News. And of course, I want to take a moment to say thank you to all of my patrons, but especially my Red Panda level patrons, Dr. Laura Schenk, Dr. Stephen Williamson, Barbara Bennett, Jenny Owens, Melissa Reed, Carrie Kirkpatrick, John Lewis, who is also here for stickers, Kevin Williams, and Cormac McMuffin, Meow. And with all of that said, we'll be back on Friday. And until then, remember, friends, the word credits backwards is Steiderk. The Rossifari Podcast is produced, hosted, and engineered by John Rossi. Editing and fact-checking by John and Dr. Zoe Rossi. Our theme song is Sevens by Nathan Burke, performed by Nathan and John. Interrupting John theme and additional voices by Taylor Isaac Gray. You can reach John directly on Instagram and Facebook at Rossifari or by email at rossifaripod@gmail.com. Rossifari is part of the Daydreamer Media Network. Now, stop listening to me and go visit a zoo.
Was that a hard question?
It's not.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just going to